Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Elizabeth Doroba. A man from Williamsport is facing charges in connection with the murder of 19-year-old Kevin Cagle in 2023. According to police, 52-year-old DeVere McLean was arrested on Tuesday in connection with the case. Investigators said Cagle's body was discovered in garbage bags near an Interstate 80 overpass in Liberty Township in October of 2023. Upon further investigation, officers believe Cagle was shot and stabbed to death on October 11th at a residence in Williamsport before being thrown from the overpass in Montour County. According to the affidavit, a witness told police that he witnessed McLean shoot Cagle in a bathtub and stab him in the neck. McLean has been charged with criminal homicide and aggravated assault, among other related charges in connection with the murder. He is currently behind bars at the Lycoming County Prison with denied bail. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for April 17th. A convicted felon is facing additional charges after police in Edwardsville say he sexually assaulted a woman in his home. According to police, Elijah Wright was giving the victim a tattoo at his home in Edwardsville when he sexually assaulted her. When the victim reported the incident to police, they say she was advised to go to the hospital and get a rape examination. When investigators executed a search warrant at Wright's home, they found a loaded gun. Officials say Wright was not allowed to possess a firearm due to a prior felony conviction in New York. Wright has been taken into custody and has been charged with felony rape by forcible compulsion, felony sexual assault, and felony aggravated indecent assault without consent, among other charges. He is currently behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility with denied bail. The Luzerne County Administration has announced an upcoming town hall meeting at the Whitehaven Community Library. The meeting will take place on Wednesday, April 16th, beginning at 5 p.m. During the meeting, Luzerne County Manager Ramilda Crocomo and the Luzerne County Division Heads will provide updates on ongoing county projects and initiatives. Crocomo said the event will also be a good opportunity for the public to ask questions and voice suggestions.
Please, if you have questions about anything that's going on in the county, please come, ask your questions. I'll have my division heads there to answer your questions, and I'll answer your questions.
If you'd like to see a town hall meeting in your local community, Crocomo said to reach out.
And if you live in a community and you want us to have a town hall meeting there, email me you can find my email on the webpage. We'll set that up.
The Whitehaven Area Community Library is located at 121 Towanda Street in Whitehaven. Coming up on WYLN News, the Hazelton Easter Bunny Trail is right around the corner. Plus, Senator Dave Argel and PA State Representative Jamie Walsh announce an upcoming public meeting regarding the vacant Whitehaven Center. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network and Jefferson Health, investing in your well-being and building healthier communities, because more expertise and convenient care mean better outcomes and a healthier you. Learn more at lvhn.org/Jefferson.
Hi, my name is Lorelai, and I'm 7 years old, and tomorrow it's going great.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts. just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazelton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. With an extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, everyday low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations, Route 93 in Nescopec,
Or downtown Hazleton.
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleeps better with Grand Central.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Here's a question. Have you ever been told, don't go to a chiropractor, you're going to get hurt? That person has been hurt by a chiropractor, or it's a doctor who has had patients hurt. So respect them, but I have 1,000 patients who've been told that, and with gentle chiropractic care, changed their life. Give us a call.
Welcome back to WYLN News. The annual Easter Bunny Trail is returning to Hazleton on Sunday, April 13th. Hazleton Parks and Recreation Director Allie McKittrick said the trail is one of her favorite events of the year.
So the Easter Bunny Trail is one of my favorite events. It's really, really fun. It's just the perfect time for the community to get together, come out. It's really built for families and kind of younger kids that are like used to, getting excited about the Easter Bunny. But the overview is that kids will show up. Everybody comes to City View Park, which is at 700 South Poplar in Hazleton, and we have a trail set up that it's almost a 1 mile trail about. And people will set up different booths, it's like local organizations and things will come up, set up their booths, and they give out things for the kids and sometimes things for the adults too. And then towards the end of the trail, we have some surprises.
The surprises at the end of the trail will include alpacas, games and refreshments hosted by Faith Church, and crafts with the Hazleton Art League. Parents are also encouraged to bring their cameras, as the Easter Bunny will be available for photos. A wide variety of local businesses and organizations have already signed up to take part in the trail, but McKittrick said there is always room for more.
If you're hearing this today, there's room for you on the trail. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really is, I sincerely believe it is a great way to see the community, meet the community, be a part of the events of the city, because it is, it's just, and just to see the kids' happy faces. I mean, that is just irresistible to me. And, but yeah, so it's just a lot of different businesses. And so if you want to get out there and truly, if you want to promote your own business and say, hey, I'm new to the area, I have this business, or if you're an old business in the area, or you have specials or discounts at your place of business, you can always share that with people. And it's just a great way for the community to connect with local businesses and for local businesses to connect with the community. It's a win-win for everybody, I think. And it's a good time. It's really fun.
To sign your business or organization up for a spot on the trail, you can contact McKittrick at amckitrick@cityofhazelton.org. The event will run from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Cityview Park in Hazleton and is free and open to the public. Senator Dave Argall and PA State Representative Jamie Walsh will be hosting a community meeting regarding the vacant Whitehaven Center on Thursday, April 10th. The meeting will take place at St. Patrick's Church, located at 411 Allegheny Street in Whitehaven, from 5:30 p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. During the meeting, attendees will have the opportunity to share their thoughts on how the Whitehaven Center could be redeveloped to support the needs of the community. Participants in the discussion will include representatives from the Center for Rural Pennsylvania, the Whitehaven Blueprint Community Team, the Pennsylvania Department of General Services, the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services, and Luzerne County officials. The meeting is open to the public, and Whitehaven residents are encouraged to attend. An Edwardsville man is wanted by the Wilkes-Barre Township Police Department. Matthew Moxon is wanted on retail theft charges. Moxon is described by police as a white male who is 6'1" and weighs approximately 155 pounds. Police say he may be hiding in South Carolina. Anyone with information regarding Moxon's whereabouts is asked to call 911. Coming up on Nescapec's News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Milton, Part 3. Plus, we discuss tips for managing your blood pressure on this week's Wellness Wednesday. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
Lehigh Valley Health Network is now proudly part of Jefferson Health. And when two healthcare leaders come together for the community, you can expect more. More access, more doctors, more convenience. Jefferson Health and Lehigh Valley Health Network. Together for the future of care.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network. A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
Trolleys became ubiquitous in towns all over America as the turn of the 20th century approached. Milton, beginning in 1898, would be the central conduit of the Lewisburg, Milton, and Watsontown Railway. Organized by Philadelphia financiers Henry Massey and Edward Tennis, it was the first trolley line in Northumberland County. In Milton, it ran along Front Street and Broadway Street. Like many other trolley companies, the Lewisburg, Milton, and Watsontown hooked onto the idea of building an amusement park along its ride to attract riders. And so it was on May 28, 1910 that Riverside Park opened just north of Milton on the former site of Fort Boone. Its major opening week attraction would be Daredevil Lionel Laguerre and his Mammoth Spiral Tower Act, which involved Laguerre maneuvering up and down a large spiral tower while balancing on a ball. Guests who visited Riverside Park had the opportunity to ride a train, a carousel, and a Ferris wheel, and play on a baseball diamond and tennis court. A dance pavilion served those who wanted to kick up their heels, and a playground awaited the younger guests. A small bear also lived in a cage at the park, although in 1916 it would attack a maintenance man that entered its cage to clean it after being scared by passing dogs, costing the man an arm. Flooding in 1926 and the end of trolley service in 1928, when the Lewisburg, Milton, and Watsontown Railway shut down, would herald the end of Riverside Park. Today, Fort Boone Campground stands where an amusement park once was. Milton leaders, though, did not give up on the idea of an amusement park after Riverside Park's closure. They purchased 20 acres of land from Bryson Montgomery on a large island nearby in the Susquehanna River and built an entertainment complex on it, which they named Montgomery's Island Park in his honor. It opened for guests in June 1929 with a carousel, numerous swings, and seesaws among its rides. The park also had 2 cookhouses, in conjunction with a pavilion with space for 200 diners, as well as various refreshment stands. It quickly took on the various picnics and other civic gatherings that had previously been held at Riverside Park. Later, a baseball diamond and a drive-in theater also graced the island. Milton sold Montgomery's Island to the state of Pennsylvania in 1966, and today it is part of Milton State Park. As the 20th century dawned, women across America were still fighting to get an equal place in a male-dominated society. Not many avenues were open to them professionally at the time, and architecture was one field where men were strongly entrenched in control. One former Milton woman, however, was determined to change that. Fay Kellogg had been born in Milton in 1871, and as a young woman had always been good with tools. As such, although she initially trained to be a doctor, her father Albert encouraged her to take up architecture instead. Fay studied the art of building for 2 years under a German tutor, becoming adept at math and drawing, then took a position under architect Rudolf Daus. She would aid in the construction of New York's 13th Regiment Armory and the Monastery of the Precious Blood. She then went to Paris for 2 years, during which time she tried to gain admission to the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts. The school would not admit women at that time, however, and she could not gain admission, although her efforts would eventually open the door there for future women. Determined nonetheless to succeed, Kellogg returned to the United States in 1900 and took another position with New York architect John R. Thomas. Her input would be critical to the final design of New York City's Hall of Records, including her decision to include statues of former colonial Dutch governors looking out over the city atop the building. Following Thomas's death in 1901, Kellogg went into business for herself in 1903. She got off to a strong start, building and renovating several buildings for the American News Company on Park Place. Kellogg would personally supervise all projects within 200 miles of New York City and drew up the plans for those further afield. Some of her other works include Brooklyn's Women's Memorial Hospital, skyscrapers in San Francisco, and numerous suburban railroad stations. Through it all, she pushed hard for women's rights, saying, "I don't approve of a well-clipped woman creeping along. Let her leap ahead as men do. All it takes is courage." Kellogg fell ill in the spring of 1918 while overseeing construction of the YWCA Hostess House at George's Fort Gordon. She would pass away in July of that year, but because of her pioneering efforts, women everywhere could see they could do anything if they dared to try. Back in Milton, the town's industrial strength had returned, with many landmark businesses joining those already operating in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The Milton Manufacturing Company, run by the Scheimer family, began operation making iron products in 1886. The West Branch Novelty Company, established by partners Marshall Reed, Harry Frick, and George and Frank Chapin, opened in 1889, originally to make bamboo furniture. For a time, it was the largest bamboo manufacturer in the United States. By 1910, though, the company found that the cedar chests it had been making on the side were more popular products and gradually phased out bamboo furniture in favor of the chests. The Milton Brick Company opened its doors in 1914 and would produce bricks through 1940. And the John E. Dakin Hosiery Mill was established in 1919, making silk stockings for women. Moviegoers in Milton would get to see films at 2 theaters in town beginning in 1924, when the Legionnaire Theater opened the town's American Legion building, a plan by the organization to pay off its construction debt. It first showed the film Welcome Stranger on October 23, 1924. The Legionnaire had a tilted floor so that each of the 600 possible patrons could have a clear view of the stage, which also hosted live shows as well as movies. A pipe organ was added in 1925 and was purchased by the Pappas brothers in 1930. The Legionnaire Theater closed in August 1952 following a legal dispute over which pictures it could show. A McDonald's stands on the site now. By then, though, another theater had taken over in Milton. The Capitol Theater opened on Broadway Road on June 20th, 1934, with Shirley Temple's film Baby Takes a Bow. It was larger than the Legionnaire Theater, with a total capacity for 1,200 moviegoers. Admission would be $0.25 for adults and $0.10 for children. The Capitol will also be the site of Christmas parties over the ensuing years. By 1971, though, it had fallen into disrepair, and its new owners paid for an extensive restoration. After 2 months of work, the restored theater reopened to a line nearly 6 blocks long on August 6, 1971. The Capitol survived Hurricane Agnes's flood and continued screenings. By November 30th, 1973, a fire broke out in the theater's furnace room and caused extensive damage to the staged roof. With the building now in danger of collapse, the Capitol Theater was torn down in 1974. A park now stands on the site, with a mural of the theater paying tribute to what was once there.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call Wyln News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@wylntv.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hello, I'm Wyln historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lisa Marie, and I'm at the Health and Wellness Center at Hazelton. And with me is my longtime colleague and friend, Barbara Hunsinger, who is the Regional Director of Non-Invasive Cardiology. Welcome, Barb.
Thanks.
So we are here to share with you how to manage your blood pressure. A lot of people are, I'm sure, dealing with it on blood pressure medications, of course, diagnosed by their physicians.
Correct.
But how can we manage our blood pressure? Are there things we can do to maybe help us not be on medication or just to keep healthy?
Yeah, great information. So what I look at it is like some tips for success. It's like, what are the things, a couple things that we can really think about? And we all think about eating smart, especially today. So we want to know that we want to make sure that we're getting our fruits and our vegetables and our protein. Animal proteins are fish and seafood, and those are the ones that are really beneficial for us, And what else can we do? We can limit our sugaries, okay? You limit your sugars, your snacks, be be a little fussy of what you're buying, and that, especially in the grocery stores. Don't buy those processed meats. Watch your soups. Canned soups are very high in sodium, very, very important, especially if you know you have hypertension. And then, your refined carbs, like, your pies and your cakes and, your desserts. So
Things we love.
Things that we all love. And not saying that we're not going to eat them once in a while, but make sure you know your limits, especially depending on how high your blood pressure is and how hard it is for you to manage it. So those are the things that your primary care provider is also going to especially talk to you about.
But how does that affect your blood pressure?
So the sugars and, things that are high in sodium. So we don't realize how much sodium is in a lot of our foods. If you look at labels, and I have not done it for a long time, but if you put a label out and you take a look at what's in processed cookies and especially soups and that high sodium, and your body is, all that sodium is coming into your body, and that's putting it in an excessive amount. And that's what happens is that, the water in your body is highly concentrated with salt, and that's making your blood pressure even look higher.
Okay.
So very important. Moving more, and all of us know that we should exercise, we should move more. Very easily for some of us to say, but if you're very limited in what you can do, even if you're sitting down and you're watching TV, move your legs around, move your arms around, get up every half hour or so. Make sure you walk around. I always told my parents, it doesn't matter how much you walk in a day, but even if you walk 5 minutes, take a walk through the house if it's ugly out. You don't have to go outside all the time if you're very limited. And that is really important as far as your blood pressure, your weight control, and and your stress levels too. It really does help. And managing your weight falls right into that. So if you're overweight, even a shift of weight loss can reduce your blood pressure. Even if you lose a couple pounds, it's really going to matter. So make sure that eating properly and moving is also going to help with weight management, all right? Nicotine is very important. Nicotine also affects high blood pressure.
Oh, okay.
So that is something that's very, very important. Every time you smoke tobacco, it can cause a temporary raise or a little bit of a rise in your blood pressure. So very important to remember to try to cut your nicotine and go on a program if you need to. And then sleeping well, very important also. Time changes, making those clocks change has really affected a lot of people that I have talked to in the past couple of weeks, myself. When your body is in that rhythm and you wake up at a certain time and then you have to change that, it really does affect it. Sleeping is also causing some stress. You're tired during the day, which is going to affect your blood pressure. It's also going to affect your, what you're actually, how you're moving and what you're exercising because you don't feel like doing it. So it all ties together.
It's interesting because all of these tips are basically what we try to educate our patients, our community, has so many benefits for not just your blood pressure, but you as a whole, as a whole person and everything. Yes. And, you stressed it quite nicely on what we should be doing to manage that blood pressure and keep ourselves healthier. Anything else that you want to add?
The only thing I want to add is just remember that, healthcare professionals can take blood pressure readings and provide recommendations. So that is something you want to make sure that you count on. Take these numbers to your primary care. Let him know how you're feeling. If you're not sleeping well, if you have stress levels, is there something I could do to manage my weight or stop smoking? And talking very bluntly to your provider is really going to make a difference, and he will definitely provide a plan for you. And I'm going to leave you with, if you have any symptoms such as chest pain, difficulty breathing, blurry vision, pain in your arm, numbness, anything that if you cannot move your arms or your legs, these are very, very important tips to make sure that you need to call 911 right away because you may be having an event that you need to be taken care of.
Well, you heard it from the expert. Barb,
Thanks.
You have been a nurse and you've been with cardiology for how long?
Probably about 30 years.
So you know your stuff, and we really appreciate you being here. And we thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday. Have a great day.
Thanks.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.